So, hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is Jasmine Gonzalez. So I'm going to talk about the symptoms that I have experienced so far. Each person will be different, I'm pretty sure. But I'll say varies depending on from what I have read, it varies depending on the strain of the virus that you got. The symptoms that I got, the first symptoms that I experienced when I began developing symptoms of COVID was uh, sinus pressure. But again, to me, it's difficult to detect whether that was caused by the virus per se, or just because my sons were going crazy because the day before I was working outside, and I get my sinuses give me headache all the time. Like that's one of the things that I deal chronically. So my sinus were feeling like super achy the day before that I tested positive. Um, so and then that same night, I began getting chills, and I have a lot of muscle mass, so the chills suck because my whole body is beginning to shake. The muscles start shaking involuntary, and I realized that okay, a fever is coming, and then I got fever, and the fever got to 100 degrees. Uh, that was on Wednesday night. I checked it with a thermometer. I'm like, shit, 100 degrees. And then next day I woke up. I was still feeling really bad, and I still have the 100-degree fever. And I think the fever has gone down. Last night I checked my temperature. It was and I'm thinking that was Saturday, and that was 98 degrees. Still a little bit feverish, but it's not as bad as it is. I don't even have a fever right now, but I still have a bad congestion right on my head. Uh, it's really bad. That's like, my sinuses are going like nuts right now. They're wild. They're like it's awful. Uh, and then I've been having a little bit of cough. Uh, Plus, I got an ear infection, but the ear infection it's not related to COVID. It's just a byproduct of it. Uh, Especially because I blow my nose in a way that is not like very very ear friendly, pretty much. Uh, what else? I never lost my sense of smell and taste, which is good. Um, Feel a little bit of my joint achy, but it's not as bad as some of the flu that I experience. Sometimes when I get the flu or a really bad cold, my joints really hurt a lot. This is not as bad as that. Uh, so that's been one of the things that that I have to deal with. I've been drinking a lot of fluids, water. Um, Last night I drank tea. I got lemon singular tea, so I've been drinking tea. Um, I drink a lot of coffee too. Uh, I have experienced also night sweats. Night sweats. Night sweats. It's something that I have experienced in certain circumstances when I've gotten sick in the past. Uh, One that I remember the most was when I was in 10th grade. Same with the fever. A fever that high like that, it brought me memories from when I got sick back in 10th grade. I'm talking this years ago. This is like in the early 90s or 1990. I got really sick and it was with a very high fever. And it was a fever at that level of me being sick when I was in 10th grade. And I know I can't compare because there might be two different diseases that I've gotten. But damn, that was at that level. And that was one of the worst experiences in my life. So that's probably when it's at that level, I can tell you that that is bad. Um, so so yeah, the fever was bad. Uh, the night sweats also same situation, but I also know that night sweats they are part of like what helps the body remove any viruses from your body. Pretty much, it's a part of the healing process. You know, it's like peeing and feces. That's a way of your body excreting the disease out. Like that's all the church too. But sweating the disease out. I have experienced that before, so I'm not surprised that that is also part of the deal right now for me. So yeah. Uh, so right now I'm just recovering and drinking fluids, but those are the symptoms that I've experienced mostly, and coughing, yeah, but coughing hasn't been that bad. Did have sore throat for a little bit. Uh, my throat doesn't feel that bad anymore, but I did have a little bit of a sore throat on uh, Friday. Friday uh, doesn't feel that bad anymore, which is good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Um, but holy shit, that's been. At least I know that my immune system is working, is doing what it needs to do, because I could feel way worse right now, and I'm not feeling that worse. I've been like functional. I've been able to cook. I've been able to stand up and make videos, and been watching a lot of like. I don't want to leave my room outside mostly. Like, let me show around, because I one of the things is the problem is like quarantine and isolation, and when you live alone, or like my situation, there was a roommate, so I have to be very careful and safe. So my room is quite big. So in my room, I'm staying in my room most of the time. If I go outside, I got my KN95 mask that my roommate got me, and I wear it out in the uh, outside of my room. And I let my window open today because it's 45 degrees. Living upstate New York, so it's been cold. So I've been letting the window down a little bit, so there's a little bit of exchange between the air uh, inside the room and the outside. But my take is like more air that comes in, more turbulence is going to create, and I feel like it's going to just spread the particles more all over the place. And I'm concerned about that, honestly, because even as I'm breathing, I'm bringing particles up to the air. You can't see them because they're tiny, tiny particles, but they're there in the air. Um, if you could see that, would look something like this. I mean, it's a D20 to visualize that, but yeah, I'll be like breathing, and then particles will be floating around the air, like this 20, going around the air, moving around randomly, chaotically around the air, all over the place. The deposit, that may stay there, or they may continue floating around and moving around and going to other areas. So, yeah, that's a problem. That's a concern that I have about this. Uh, that spreading, the concentration of particles is increasing here in the room. If I open the door to go outside, but I'm not going outside because I cannot go outside. But still, it's a possibility that particles could also get outside because of the cracks of the door and everything. But I'm trying not to think about that. So it's my scientific brain that is thinking of those things, because I'm a scientist. I have a background in science, in chemical engineering. We study transport of things in the air, water, uh, fluids, transport of chemicals and materials in fluids. Let's put it that way. In different media. Environment engineering, water, air are the two commons one, and I have a master's in environment engineering. So we study how pollutants get transported in the air and water. So yeah, and so pretty much I'm trying to shut down my brain because I don't want my roommate to get sick, and I'm even thinking about like how will it involve like for people that live near me in the apartment. So many questions that I have, so many unanswered things that I cannot answer, but yeah. So definitely, like it's one of those things. But uh, the symptoms. I'm back to the symptoms again, and yeah, the night sweats were weird, but I'm not surprised. And to me, it's like part of like the healing process that the body is using. Uh, but yeah, so far those were the symptoms. But right now I'm just waiting to the congestion to go away, and because even if I fever free, because one of the measurements that they're using is like being fever free before returning to work. But I don't want to do that. That's the only symptom that I to return to work. I don't want to be congested because at work I will still probably continue wearing using a mask. Um, so I rather make sure that I am congested free and I don't have any other symptoms that may affect my performance at work. But that means that I may have to exhaust my my leave or the pay time of that I have left. But we'll see. but that's just me. And then I want to make sure that I clean my room, I clean my sinks, or most of the things in my room, before I even return to work, because yeah. Then again, my room is full of shit right now, so to clean all of this is going to be quite interesting. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I really have no idea. For now, it's just it is what it is, and I just hope that uh, I recover and I don't have to deal with COVID ever again. Anyway, bye.